Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Texturizing and Sketching with me. Alright, this time I want to tell you the rules and principles that you have to know for creating the objects and their textures. For example, over here I just create a cube, a normal cube. If you just create a square cube, also from here, that goes a long way. Doesn't matter, you can create any other shape that you like as well, but I'm just going to show it to you on this cube so you'd understand some parts easier. Then I bring my lines down, and then parallel to my top lines, I connect these lines together with the lines on the bottom. Okay. Here it goes. Now this is my cube here, and I just want to create a line over here and another one right in front of it, across from it. And as you can see, I'm turning it into a cylinder. And then this would be the ending part of my cylinder. Then I erase all the extra lines from my work, just leaving the main shapes over here. Then I start shading. Now, this primary sketch of your work should be very lightly. Again, I say, if I'm doing it darker here right now, it's only because I want it to be more visible for you. My light source would be on top of my object, so the top surfaces of my objects would be so light. One surface and one side would be the light of my work, and this side and the other side next to it would be darker comparing to the top side. This side that I'm shading right now, it's not too dark and it's not too light. So it's something in the middle, and I'm using my sketching pencil in order to shade this area, as you can see, cohesively at first. Then again, I say very cohesively. I do it in all kind of directions. And I'll have this cohesive shade here. Now, my dear friends, something that is one of the most important rules in our shading is that we shouldn't have any specific lines left in our work, and we shouldn't have any trace of pencil in our work. So, the contrast between our shadings just solely can separate our surfaces and our parts from each other. So we do not need a specific lines and borders in order to separate parts of our sketch at all. We don't need it. No way. So you should just practice it over and over again to remove these border lines from your work and just try to show the difference with the contrast of your shading. Otherwise, your works would look not real. They wouldn't look real, you know. And they wouldn't look good. Okay. I'll continue. A very cohesive shade and fading the edges lines. Then I'm gonna use a bit of my B6 pencil, especially for the side edges. Just like this. Here it goes. All the way. I start from the slower part. I'll continue. Okay. Now, the top surface should also get shaded, but the shade that I'm using here is just very, very light. It wouldn't be white. So, in order not to leave it white, I just shade it, but I do it very, very lightly. See? Because this side is directly under the light source, so it should be really light. And as much as you keep your pencil in your hand near to the end of it, your shadings would be lighter. You see, as you can see, I still have some lines on the edges of my light surface especially. But later I'll tell you how you can fade them so your work would not get lost in the background and still be separated from it without any specific lines. Now I'm going to shade this side as well. So here it goes. Okay. Now, this way I just move it upwards. Then on the side part, on this edge, I'll do the same thing. And with the darkness, I try to fade this line and bring it toward the light. I'm doing it with the shadings here. Okay. Then I consider darker shades for my work. And here it is. Now I switch to my B6 pencil, and with that, I try to apply more darkness into my work. Let me just sharpen my pencil enough. See? For example, from these parts very slowly, I start shading. And on the edges and on the corners, it would be darker. But as I move toward the center of my side and my square, I try to create lighter shades there. So from here I come down, and also from this edge I start shading. And this part would be the climax of my darkness. I mean, this is the darkest part in my work because the cylinder is also attaching the cube in this area. Therefore, there is a shadow of the cylinder on this side and on this part of my cube. So that's why it's the darkest part. And again, for making my shades even softer and smoother, with my HB pencil, I cover all the shades that I've just already created. This blends my colors together and overall make them look more soft and smooth. All right,